So there you are, Johnny Vegas. You're the youngest of 4 children.
Yeah.
You're living in St Helens in Lancashire, and you decide, or do you decide, or do your parents decide, that life in a seminary is the life for you? How does that come about?
It came about from my saying that I wanted to be a priest from a young age. But I think saying it because I enjoyed the reaction that it got.
What reaction did it get?
Oh, it was fantastic. The ambition of every parish is to produce its own priest. But I know for certain my mum really didn't want me to go.
How do you know that she's told you that now?
That's come out in conversations now, and I think with a lot of the negative press of late, I think it's something that my mum suspected.
Right, so she was thinking, I'm sending my little boy away to I know not what.
Yeah.
Right. And what sort of little boy were you then? I mean, do you like football? Do you play around with your brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I was pretty much the happy-go-lucky 9-year-old kid, really. Academically quite promising. I had a lovely life.
And so at 11 you go to the seminary, and what's that like? What are your memories?
It really hadn't sunk in what was happening until the first night. You're in this big, imposing school in its own grounds, you know what I mean? It was I suppose everybody else was just horrendously homesick. It was shell shock.
And how quickly did you realise that maybe I don't want to be a priest after all?
I think there was a series of events that made me realise I didn't want to be a priest. I didn't like the regime. It just seemed to be a place that wanted to strip you of any individuality.
And so how quickly did you come home?
I left in the 4th term. I stuck out my first year, and for me the place had very little to do with religion and a lot more to do with regime. I'd come home for Christmas and we'd gone to benediction, and we were due to drive back that evening, and I turned to my dad and told him that I didn't want to go back. And my mum was in floods of tears, and the worst thing is at the time I thought I'd broke her heart by leaving. It was quite the opposite, as it turns out. It was such a relief for her.
And was there any sort of local, small-scale disgrace in the boy coming home from the seminary?
I felt like there was. I felt on myself that I'd let a lot of people down. Everything in my life has been about you laugh things off, you make a joke. It's very hard because there were things that went on at that school. It was very difficult to come back at weekends and people say, what you're doing is a wonderful thing. And you quietly going, it's not a wonderful thing and it's not a wonderful place.
Were you abused there?
I wasn't, no.
But you...
And it's a very difficult thing to talk about in public, because for people who are or were, is it really up to me to drag that into the spotlight?
No.
And discuss that?
I suppose what I am asking is, there was a level of activity there that even as a young boy you were aware of, that other people were going through?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think, like I say, when I left, there was... For a long time I felt very guilty. As I say, when I left, I almost wanted to take everybody else with me.